everyone, and welcome to Tabor Talk. I'm your host, Michael Tabor. October 11th, Saturday morning. Is it October 11th? Let me double check. No, I'm sorry, it's October 12th. So it's cool. It's a kind of a chilly morning. I have my winter coat on, my hat. Okay, getting right into this. I did a video recording, I believe, last week, and I talked about the goodness in people. That everyone has good qualities, at least one good quality, usually more than that, but it's just that it's not always apparent or obvious. You have to find it. But I guess the point I was trying to make is that nobody is evil 24/7, 365. Nobody's breathing fire and wreaking havoc 24/7, 365. Even the worst human being that ever lived, or at least in modern history, Adolf Hitler, when he got up in the morning, he'd have a cup of coffee and say, "Hi, good morning," and pet the dog, So, all right. So, I don't know if that makes sense. I'm thinking about it myself. But anyway, so everyone knows I love Joe Rogan. I'm finishing up on the Dakota Meyer podcast, and Joe is a beautiful man. I love Joe Rogan, not only because he's super talented and funny and interesting and smart and all that. What I love about him most is he's a kind man. He's a decent, kind man. I love him, and he always brings out the good in people. So the point of this video, Joe Rogan, there's good in everyone. Joe, not to get corny, Joe brings out the good in everyone. So about 3 years ago, Joe had Ted Nugent on. All right, I don't like Ted Nugent. He's awful. He sounds like a monster. He's by the way, when I was a kid, I used to love Ted Nugent. I saw him in concert when I was 17. I was a senior in high school. I saw him at the Nassau Coliseum in Long Island. Went with my good friend there. Maybe we were 16, because I know his mother drove us. We didn't even have a license. We saw Ted Nugent. So, Ted Nugent's this outrageous guy, right-wing guy. He's a hunter. All the things I'm opposed to now. Big loudmouth. And before I saw him on Joe Rogan, it's like, hey, he's a scumbag. He's a monster. He's awful. 3 years ago, Ted's on Joe Rogan, and he's a fucking awesome guy. He really is decent. Yes, there are things that I don't believe in him, and there are some hardcore kind of libertarian stances that I definitely don't agree with. But basically, he's not this monster. He really isn't. And Joe said it best. It's like, okay, Ted has a heart. He is basically a good man. He has strong opinions, and he'll say he's a public figure, and he uses that. So he'll say outrageous things to promote what he believes. All right, so here's an example of this here on YouTube. Now, this I don't like at all. He's hunting hogs from the sky, like thousands of them, just shooting them from a helicopter. And it really is sick. And even when I watch this, it's like, listen, I know they have to kill them, by the way. There's just too many of them, and they're causing all this damage, and it's a hazard. It has to be done. But Ted is having too much fun with this. I don't like it. Like, I don't even oppose. I don't hunt, but I don't oppose hunting if you're an ethical hunter. If you kill with the right spirit. Like, if you watch those shows from Alaska, there's respect. There's sadness when they kill. All right? But let me just show you this. Pigman and Ted Nugent hunting hogs from the sky.
God, it is about to be tragic.
Well, they're running to the field now.
They're about to die.
Okay,
I got two. There's three. I got three.
Ego. Get you some on that side. Then Ted, you ready?
Right now.
Okay.
He's down.
Let me circle him back up. I'm going to try to get him on the open. Just hold on. Let me move him to the field. You ready? You ready?
Here they are, Ted.
Oh, yeah. Hold on.
Give me more of an angle.
I'm going to get you right up there, too. Yep, stand by. Yep, we're good.
Get him, Monk. Great shooting, Ted.
Let's come back over here.
Look at this straggler running in the corner over there.
Let's go get him.
See him along the edge,
Yep.
Ted?
Yeah, where's he at? Oh, yeah.
Right in front of the chopper.
Oh, yeah.
hell of a shot, Ted-O. He got the medulla oblongata.
All right, I'm going to pause. I've seen enough. I don't like that at all. All right, you're murdering an animal. Okay, so it had to be done. They ate. I believe they did a good thing too. They gave. There were like 2,000 pigs that they killed in like an hour. Like it's crazy, or a couple of hours or something. And they gave all the meat. They made bacon, and they gave it to homeless people. So you see, there's goodness out of this. But and when he's laughing and pretending like, oh, shoot them there, that's all PR bullshit, you know. So okay, so there you go. So even the awful monster Ted Nugent is actually not that bad. Now, the animal in the White House, that's a different story. That's a real scumbag for you. Just a vulgar, well, I don't want to get into this in this video, but that's a dirtbag for real. Trump. Trump is a legit, he is a scumbag. There really is nothing. I've tried for years. I've been following this guy since the 80s. I can't find a single redeeming thing about that monster. All right, it always goes to Trump. I'm sorry. Okay. Know what? Someone said something funny about a year ago. I think it was a scientist. I can't think of it. Was it Dawkins? No, not Dawkins. Lawrence Krauss, maybe. I don't know. Maybe I'm way off here about who it was, but he said all things lead to Trump. All conversations, even going to Price Chopper or your conversation with your, I don't know, your sister-in-law, or just, you know, talking to someone on the phone, the mailman, all things devolve and ultimately lead to Trump. All things lead to Trump, discussion of Trump. It's a weird time, baby. And it is true. Like, how many times I hate the fucking guy. I hate that man. He disgusts me. My wife is just passionate, just makes her throw up. Whenever his voice comes on, it's like, oh my God, get that fucker off my TV. He's that bad. He just, literally, I get nauseous. He's just the most vile piece of shit. This dummy. Like, his dumbness. His voice, you know? And that fucking face and that hair, he just makes me vomit. All right. I was talking about Ted Nugent and the good things in people, good qualities in people and all people. And see, everything devolves to Trump. I didn't want to talk about Trump. All right. Good friends, good books, and a sleepy conscience. Peace, love, and understanding here on Tabor Talk.